Hi, everybody. I'm Mark with Marathon Press. Today, I'm so excited to have you meet Brian and Jessica Baer. They have been operating a studio out of Kearney, Nebraska for over 25 years. They've both earned their PPA Masters in Craftsman's degree as well as the National Award. They have each won countless photographic awards and have a passion for helping people. And with that passion for helping people, they've taught numerous programs that have helped photographers all over the country to increase their photography skills and their business as well. They most recently taught a senior program that I badly wanted to attend, but I was at the Texas school and I couldn't go. So I convinced them to do this podcast with me today. So I'm really glad you're here, guys. Welcome, Brian and Jessica Baer.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I should put in some sort of audio clapping or something, right? Sound effects. But guys, when we do these podcasts, this is unrehearsed. So everything we do is just off the cuff, which makes it even more fun. But the reason I wanted to do this today with you guys is we've all seen the changes in our industry in senior photography. And there's so many photographers trying to figure out today, first of all, what do they need to do to market to their seniors, how to market to them, what style of photography are seniors wanting? And there's been a decline in a lot of that. And yet at the same time, I see your work. And by the way, when you look at your website, and I'll put the post in it on our blog, you guys are like the photographer's photographer of quality. I mean, every single image that I look on there, it's like, unbelievably beautiful. And I'm not just saying that. So if you guys get a chance, go to the website and see Brian and Jess's work. It doesn't matter what you look at, seniors, family, babies, children, it's gorgeous. So you guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks, it's all Jess, right, Brian?
No.
she puts the polish on.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to throw some questions at you guys, and you just kind of tell me and expand as much as you want. But the first one I have for you is, how do you guys see the senior market today? What opportunities are there?
I guess there was a kind of a pivot point years ago when I realized if I considered ourselves an interior designer or a custom interior specialist, helping our clients decorate their home with artwork that features their family as opposed to a photographer, that helped me, again, differentiate. There's nobody else competing in that space in our market. And so when we come in and have that vision and that service and guide our clients through that process, it just, again, there's nobody competing when you frame it that way.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Jess, anything you want to add to that?
As far as how I see the senior market today?
Yeah.
Well, you have to be very flexible and you have to be with the trends and you have to be where the seniors are. That's why we've dove into a lot of different social media platforms in the last year, because the seniors necessarily aren't on Facebook and things are changing. And there are a lot of seniors out there and we're just getting a small fraction of them, the surrounding areas out here. So it's like, you have to be where they're at. You have to be willing to change and move with the trends.
Yeah. And I'll bounce off that. I came at it from the old guy perspective, but being aware of what's happening and what the perspective of the clients are, and you have to see what the kids want, but you also have to see what the parents want, and hopefully be the solution that they both can agree on together.
Mm-hmm. And you have to be able to balance, you see all of this trendy photographer, social media stuff going on, but you still have to be true to your style and your brand of photography, like to be able to make that work well together, like you said, for the senior and the mom.
When you look at your market today, and I know we're in Norfolk, Nebraska, but no matter where you live, I mean, people are seeing kids have a different value on their senior photography.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find there's a pattern with the kids that don't have senior photography taken, or are they just having friends do it when they don't come to a professional? What are they doing?
I think it's, what do they want? There's a piece of the market where they just want to have something to post on their Instagram every other Sunday. That's all they want. And it's tough to serve just that fraction of the market. But you have to be aware of it, because everybody wants to do that. Some people just want more. And I think you have to realize you can't be everybody's photographer. You can't serve everybody. So who do you want to serve within that, and how can you best serve them? But just realize there's going to be some people who get mad because you don't have a digital only package, of everything for $100. Well, we're not the photographer for them. That's okay. There's somebody else out there who is, but we're not able to, we don't get our feelings hurt, and we basically move on, and there's somebody else out there who does value what we do and what we bring and our skills. And it's really come full circle. We've heard over the years, some people call us up and say, you don't just give us all the digitals and make us go to Walgreens and figure it out from there, do you? And like, no, we are full service. We'll guide you through the process, and we're your partner, and you're going to leave with artwork ready to hang on your wall. The most you might have to do is to put a nail in that wall and hang it up.
Question here. Now, how do you promote to seniors, and what's the most effective?
We have multiple approaches. We have a direct mail piece. We have social media. We've got our website. We've got displays in our community. We've got a mall display. So we try to do a lot of everything, and we let each of them support the other, and to kind of build them layered together. Promoting our senior business, and seniors is about 30% of our total business, but it's very seasonal. It's what we do in the summertime. We decided that promoting is something we want to do early in the season, rapidly and quickly. We fill our calendar up, and when June starts, we basically stop promoting actively with direct mail, and then we let the organic social media, if you see your friends' pictures in June, that's going to spur you to go, oh my gosh, yeah, I need to do that too. And so we'll get a call from their friend. So we actively, outwardly market May. May. Basically the month of May. And our timing is we send out a big glossy brochure, 24-page brochure to our prospects. And then that doesn't honestly bring in a lot. That doesn't make the phone ring, believe it or not, but it makes them aware. And there's nobody else in our community that's putting this kind of effort into putting their marketing out there. But 2 weeks later, we followed up with an offer. It's a limited, we call it our 3-day sale, and it actually starts here in a couple days. But this is the book a session during these 3 days and receive a discount off your session fee. And we have it, it's a adjustable session fee. Or I should say an adjustable discount. So the biggest discount is for June sessions, a medium discount for July sessions, and a small discount for August sessions. People who are price shopping or price sensitive, they're going to come in June. And so ordinarily, when we're not doing much anyway, we get those people to fill our calendar up in June, and then August or July. And then August is crazy because then people realize they're at the last minute. So anyway, it just works out well. So we're only actively marketing that for 3 days. We fill our calendar up, and then we focus on sessions and working with the client. And I guess I will say before Jess jumps in here. So then 2 weeks after this sale,
1 week.
1 week, 1 week after this sale ends, another sale starts. And it is the same thing, almost the same thing. We call it our Memorial Day sale. And it's an online sale where they contact us through our website, and that's where it all starts. So that's where we're actively marketing. And again, we're repeating this message through our website, through our social media channels, through our referrals, people as well.
Excellent.
And our mall display. And then when Brian was talking about how we kind of organically do it through the summer. So during sessions, we're videoing essentially on our phones, just very bare bones. We'll video behind the scenes stuff with each other. Like we'll kind of tag team on that, and we'll make a behind the scenes video on TikTok and Instagram Reels. So kids can see what we're actually doing. So when they come in, they're expecting the exact same thing. And they're like, this is what this is exactly what we saw online. This is exactly how it happens. So we're organically doing that. And then within 24 hours of every session, we're doing a sneak peek of our favorite image of every senior.
Just one image
that goes out on Facebook and Instagram. So we're using current stuff starting in June. So everything in May is from our previous senior season.
Do you find a certain time of day or a day of the week that works best to post?
Well, and that's really funny you ask. I know there used to be like schedulers that would tell you the best day. I honestly, it's probably not the best plan, but I go and I'm naturally looking, sometimes it's the morning when we post our business stuff, and it's going to be like after school that we're posting senior stuff. And then sometimes evening, because mom finally gets to sit down and look at her social media, and we'll maybe put like our cute kid posts at night, or just depending on what season we're in. But usually with the seniors, once I get that image edited, we usually post right away, depending on, that time of day, or we can schedule it through that Meta Business on Facebook where we can hit both of them at the same time. So I don't have like a perfect time and day, but it's just kind of based on what market we're trying to get people to see stuff.
It's whenever you talk about marketing, the thing that I find that most photographers fail at is they're not consistent. Mm-hmm. And they just get something started, and then they get discouraged and kind of give up on it. And there's that constant start and stop, and they never get any traction for it. So based on what I'm hearing from you guys, it's a combination of a lot of little things that you're doing right and being consistent with it.
Mm-hmm. And I will tell you, I tell everybody this one thing that has helped me so much with marketing and scheduling everything is that I batch work. So I'll get all of the information and stuff collected well beforehand. And then I'll pick a day about 3 or 4 weeks before we actually launch everything. And I will schedule all of our posts, all of our stories, all of our emails on the same day. So everything looks the same. So that way I'm not working on emails one day and be like, oh, what did I say there? And you have to go back and log in. Like everything is open, everything's there. And I just spend the day planning it all out.
Yeah, I think you told me you finished a couple days ago, and you said my next 100 social media posts are already done, and they're going to trigger automatically.
Nice.
So set it and forget it.
Yes, that's wonderful.
if you come up with something like a cool idea, you can still throw it in there.
You just look at the calendar and see where there's an open space, so you're not like double tapping and over posting in one day. You want to give everything the same chance to be viewed.
Nice. Well, that sounds so much like you, Jess. I'm not shocked. So, okay. Anything else? By the way, I wanted to ask you, do you guys do a model program, or have you ever done one?
We have done one in the past, and started to see some kind of diminishing returns on the effort that we put into that and the results we felt we were getting. And so we just kind of quietly let it slip away a couple of years ago. And I don't know that we've missed it. In fact, I've kind of been thankful of the time that we've recaptured.
And the energy.
Yeah.
Because usually when you do a model program, you're photographing them this time of year when you should be concentrating on other things and not building the marketing stuff from those recent sessions. It's been really nice not doing it, honestly.
Sure. Gotcha. Okay. Then I'm going to move on to my next question, unless there's anything else you want to add to that.
I will throw one thing in. One thing that's really worked well is it used to be to book a session, just call the studio and we'll start talking and we'll book a session. That used to work. We're finding that that is not as effective. Honestly, people are a little timid to pick up the phone and call someone out of the blue, even if it's a business. So we have on our website, and I wanted to do this for years and years and years before I finally figured out the solution, to have a book a session online. Just like you reserve a hotel room anymore, you don't call the hotel, you just get online, make your reservation, and you're done. I wanted it to be kind of like that, but it's not that easy, and there's a lot of back end systems. Do you really want to show your work calendar out there online for just anybody to see? How do you have your available openings and all that? And I was overthinking it, and it doesn't have to be that complicated. So we set up, basically it's a form on our website, and our clients fill it out, name, all the information and then their interests, kind of what they want to do. And at the very bottom, it says, what's your first choice for a date? And what's your second choice for a date? And then it says, what's the best time for us to call you to finalize the details, in the morning, in the afternoon, or as soon as possible? And when people hit send, we get the email, and then we initiate a phone call with them afterwards. And as opposed to covering all that ground with a phone call where you're basically just asking them questions, we've already got that from that email form. So then we just dive in, and then when it comes to the schedule, hey, your first choice is available. We have a 9 o'clock or 4 o'clock session that day. What works best for you? Or your first choice isn't available, your second choice isn't available, but it looks like you chose both Fridays. We have, you just start the conversation somewhere, and then you evolve from there.
Nice.
So
that's very good to know. And it makes sense, especially with today, with the way that's kind of like the norm and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, cool. All right. Number 3, when does your senior marketing start and each season? Is it for you? I think we're in the Midwest here. So
yeah,
through September, October, kind of?
Yeah.
We start marketing in May, and
we actually start shooting in May. We have our first session in 2 weeks for
Wow.
senior 2023.
Yeah.
Mom is on the ball.
Nice. And I know you're one of the few studios that put your session fees and packages right on your website. And I assume you did that because it helps qualify the people that are truly interested. And
yes.
Yeah, so have you found that that's been beneficial? When did you start doing that?
I guess I've done it. It's frustrating when you don't talk price up front and you invest a lot of time only to find out later that it's not going to work out. And so it's a lot more efficient, I think, to put that in it. And on our website, just to clarify, it doesn't have what our 16 by 20s are and what our albums are. It just says, here's our session fee, and our packages start at this number.
Yeah.
They know that's the starting point. When the phone call happens, we say, well, here's the range that most people spend. And when a client books a session, and if a client says, well, I want to know the details, I want to know all the inner workings, we will discuss that. But it's just not something we put out there. So it's just almost too much information for someone in that qualifying stage, but we want enough, but not too much, to know if they want to start.
And just out of curiosity, are you getting the calls from the seniors, or the senior and the mom, or what are you typically running into?
It's mainly the senior moms, sometimes dad, and probably I would say maybe 4-ish seniors a year will call and book and just take care of it all.
Okay.
So they're the ones booking, they're the ones getting all the information, and sometimes they're the ones coming by themselves too. So they know, like, they've set aside their own money for senior photos. Just kind of depends on the family dynamic, but it's mainly mom that's calling.
And when to back up a little bit too, with your promotions to the seniors, do you ever target the moms? You know what I mean? There's some people.
Yeah, I do. And I guess what I want to say to address to that is, we want it to appeal to both audiences. The ideal scenario is we want the kid to see it, like it, want it, and we want them to show it to mom, and mom to go, Yeah, I'm okay with that. So it needs to be an appeal to appeal to the mom.
That's why we keep our TikTok really clean. We don't like get, we use the right songs, make sure there's no bad words or anything, because the kids that's what they're going to bring to their mom is the stuff they see on social media. They're not necessarily going to go to the mailbox and be the first ones seeing our direct mail pieces. That's what mom sees first. And then mom's going to see all of our like static posts that we have on Facebook and Instagram. And the kids are going to be seeing the behind the scenes stuff. So that's that's exactly what he was saying is you appeal to both of them and on the same.
And I've got a high school junior now, and I get, I'm the one who goes to the mailbox, and I kind of go through it and sort it, and I see the stuff that she's getting. And there's a lot of information from colleges and schools that she's getting, their postcards. I'm looking at that stuff. I'm like, I know it's addressed to my daughter, but I'm looking at that going, hey, this is pretty cool. And if I see it, I'll say, hey, you got some mail. And then maybe so it needs to work both directions, I think.
You're such a dad. I was the same way. Oh man, that brings back memories. Oh gosh. All right, well, good information there. So I'm going to jump ahead here. So if you were a new photographer just starting it out, what advice would you give someone marketing to seniors if you're brand new?
My thought is too many people. I guess be different is my advice.
Find your lane.
Yeah, and too many photographers say, well, okay, I guess I'll get all the social media accounts and I'll just start posting stuff. And that's where that's a good start, but that's where too many new photographers start and end their promotions, and they don't take it a next step. Maybe get a website, maybe get some printed materials, maybe just in their studio branding, investing time in that look and that image of what they want to do. And I guess maybe even visualize what do they want to be known for in their community. And start with that vision and as opposed to just try to photograph anything that has a checkbook.
Yes. And he's right on about that when I mentioned the whole pick your lane thing. Find your style, find the niche that you want to go for, where we are posed traditional, classic, but bring in a little bit of different every once in a while. And then there's photographers out there that are great at the whole candid movement of their seniors and hair flying in the wind and hats. And that's great. Focus on that one thing if you really want to get into a senior market, because you don't want to be like everybody else. You want to have your own look and your own brand.
As my old teaching partner, Ann Monteith, and I used to say, in the absence of uniqueness, people shop by price. And so you need to put that in all your advertising, and it shows in your work. Absolutely. So, and the experience, that's the other thing too, that, you need to have a really amazing experience. Okay. My next question is, what style of photography do you find is most popular for your seniors? There's so many: outdoor, indoor, on location, traditional, casual. We touched on it a little bit earlier, but what do you find in your area?
What we do, and I guess an approach that we uniquely have, we don't have just one photographer that our clients get to work with. They get to work with both of us. And how we decided to split that up is I would take the studio work, so the indoor studio, and anything sports related and anything that's a car. So I get to do
I don't
that.
like the cars.
And then just does everything outdoors, and we're at our outdoor studio location. So that said, I focus on nice, clean, classic, well lit, well posed, not stuffy and old, but clean and edgy.
That's the word I would use.
Edgy. And a lot of the dynamic studio sports work, kind of utilizing that angle as well. So that's what we're kind of known for with that. And then, but then I hand them off to Jess when they go outside and they get a different look.
So I'm pretty loose and casual with my posing. I always tell them, like, I'm so easy to work with. I'm not going to tell you to tilt your head and all this stuff. So I get to be outside throughout the day and just move around our set.
If people want to get a hold of you, how can they reach you?
Well, they can find our website. They can friend us on Instagram, on Facebook. It's Baer Studios everywhere. It's the same thing. They can go watch our TikToks if they want. It's just Baer Studios. So they can find us anywhere.
What's a good email address to reach you?
Email is brian@baerseniors.com.
Okay, sounds good. And I'm Mark Weber with Marathon Press. You can reach me at markw@marathonpress.net or 800-228-0629, extension 283. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you again next time.